Hi everyone, we are Good Thanks for coming. Today we will introduce the removal of bank issue note in America. Bank issue note appeared after the panic of 1837 and last until the National Banking Act of 1863. They were issued entirely by private banks and were backed by state bonds, local government bonds, or bank assets. The system lowered the barrier for banks to enter, so at their peak, more than 1,600 banks issued notes, creating thousands of different varieties. During the free banking era, bank issued notes emerged mainly because the collapse of the second bank left a void in centralized currency control. State response with free banking law, allowing private banks to issue notes to meet the large demand for credit during the westward expansion and the earlier industrialization. The impacts were significant. These laws expand local credit and support small business, fund, and infrastructure projects. However, disadvantages quickly become clear. Inconsistent credit qualities lead to public distrust. Many notes were not accepted outside their local regions, and frequently bank failures often left notes worthless.
The 19th century U.S. banknote system itself suffered from serious design flaws. Due to excessively decentralized issuance authority, each bank could print its own banknotes. This resulted in a lack of a unified currency standard and limited cross-regional circulation. Furthermore, the collateral system's reliance on risky state government bonds made the system's stability extremely fragile from the outset. In other words, even without manipulation, such a system could hardly maintain public trust over the long term. Adding to this structure, management failures further exacerbated the crisis. Insufficient state government supervision has given rise to a large number of wildcat banks that issue banknotes excessively or even abscond with money. Bankers engaged in opportunistic practices in an unconcentrated environment, coupled with excessive issuance driven by wartime deficits, inevitably lead to inflation. Consequently, the real value of banknotes steadily declined, and public confidence in bank-issued currency rapidly eroded. Thus, the collapse of U.S. banknotes in the 19th century was not due to a single cause, but rather a combination of structural flaws and management failures. The ultimate lesson is that currency stability requires unified rules and effective oversight. Otherwise, flaws in both structure and management will lead to a complete loss of trust.
Moving forward, imagine you are a merchant in 1839. The bank that issued your money has failed, and your paper savings are now worthless. Faced with this betrayal of centralization, would you feel more secure holding Bitcoin, a currency beyond any bank's control, impossible to counterfeit, and with a transparent, publicly accessible ledger? In reality, it's a double-edged sword. Bitcoin effectively solved two critical flaws of the free banking era. First, it eliminates the need to trust any single bank by using a decentralized ledger that is transparent and untouchable. This prevents fraud and stops the folly of one bank from crashing the entire system. Second, it fixes the problem of uncontrolled moving printing. Unlike the past, Bitcoin's supply is strictly limited to 21 million coins by its core code, making inflation by over-issuance impossible. However, Bitcoin's solution creates new problems. First is extreme price volatility. As Rock documented, this makes it impractical for daily use. More profoundly, as Radish argues, it lacks a central stabilizer. In solving the human manipulation of the 19th century, it eliminates the human judgment needed to manage modern financial panics. Therefore, while Bitcoin corrects historic flaws, it proves that perfect money cannot be built by code alone. The challenge for our future then is not to pick a side, but to forge a system that learns from both, balancing the certainty of code with the compassion of human oversight. That's all. Thank you.